Hi, I'm Wanhee, and when I started working out and saw these huge jacked bodybuilders, I thought to myself, I don't really want to look like them. They looked unnatural and way over the top. But when I saw football players, UFC fighters, and sprinters, I thought, wow, that's the physique that I want. It's taken a while, but I think I'm quite close to the goal. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can do the same, so you don't become that typical gym bro who swapped his personality for a protein shake. Let's get into it. The first thing to realize is you do not want to be that stiff gym bro whose whole identity and personality starts and ends with the gym. You've met those guys, right? You meet him and he's like chugging his protein shake. Every time you go out to eat, he's looking out for chicken breast. He cannot enjoy any meal unless it has protein in it. If you have brute strength without coordination, if you have force without direction, it just makes you like a dumb truck. You need coordination, you need direction, you need strategy. And that's what comes when you do things outside of the gym, like other sports, other hobbies, with running, with climbing, with swimming, with Muay Thai, with jiu-jitsu, with boxing, with wrestling, whatever it is. And what you'll quickly find is that they are very synergistic. The martial arts will teach you a lot about the gym movements, and the gym movements will teach you a lot about the martial arts as well. Next, the reason why gym bros usually end up becoming one-dimensional gym bros is because they spend 5-6 days in the gym training 1 hour and a half, 2 hours, sometimes even more than 2 hours. When they come out the gym, they have no energy to do and engage in other hobbies. This is not where you want to be. You want to have lots of energy to recover and also engage in other activities. So in my case, I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday jiu-jitsu, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday gym, all at 11 o'clock, works like clockwork. And because I only train 3 times a week with very, very minimalist workouts that last 1 hour, it gives me all of that physical and mental RAM to engage in martial arts that supplement my gym training as well. So opt for a minimalist style of training. If you're not sure how to do it, I have made free minimalist workout routines. You can get them, download them in the description below, or you can join the community where you will find the routines as well and do it talking to other people that are on the same journey. Next, you want to do dynamic unilateral movements. Unilateral movements are movements that engage one side of the body, so automatically your balance and your stability is challenged. By dynamic, I mean that they are more fluid movements, not the strict gym bro fixed range of motion. So let me give you an example. Let's take one dynamic unilateral movement like the unilateral dumbbell shoulder press. This is a great exercise where you're doing dumbbells up and down like this, like a shoulder press. But because it's dynamic and because it's one-handed, you can almost increase the range of motion. You can almost make it like a punch, like how you would throw a punch when it's boxing and Muay Thai or something like this. It translates very well, much better than the flat bench press, because this shoulder angle is not only kind of too demanding on the shoulder joint, it's actually not what happens when you fight. You rarely punch like this down here. You punch more like crouched up and like this, so it's much more of a unilateral shoulder press that translates better to those punching movements. It's unilateral, so your obliques, your core, your lower back, your glutes are all helping out to balance so you don't topple over. And these are the kind of movements that always translate better to other sports and martial arts. In these athletic pursuits, you're more likely to find yourself in split squat situations, lateral, diagonal planes of movement. The next thing is to train with explosives, with negatives, and with pause reps. Training explosively just means that when you do the rep, instead of just going, okay, I'm just going to do however many, when you come up, being explosive. Let's take the bench press as an example. You come down slow and you're like, boo. And in your mind, you're trying to explode up as fast as possible. Let's say you're doing a squat and you go ass to grass, but when you come up, you try to do it in the most explosive, powerful way up. What you're doing in this scenario is training your neuromuscular connection, muscle recruitment, how efficiently your brain recruits all the muscle by just going explosive, explosive, explosive. And this will translate well to sports again, where you have to be explosive, whether it's sprinting off the block or dynamic fast turns when you play soccer, explosive punches when you're boxing. There are a lot of explosive movements. It's one of the key characteristics of athleticism, and you can actually train this in the gym simply by trying to do the sets and the reps in an explosive manner. People always train in this positive range of going up, but they don't realize that half the time in the gym, you're actually coming back down. So why are you just dropping the weight? Why are you not squeezing gains out of that negative movement? And the reason negative movements translate well to athletics is that when you're coming down slowly, what are you doing? Constantly stabilizing and balancing which improves your stability. For example, your shoulder stability, your knee stability. These are things that are constantly being challenged and improved when you do negatives coming down in a slow, controlled way. Imagine you're getting squashed below somebody putting weight on you in jiu-jitsu and you're holding on and your arms are getting bent. That is a negative. So these are the situations that you'll find yourself in a lot. So training negatives is very smart. And finally, pause reps. Pause reps is similar to explosive training, where instead of just like bouncing the weight up, where you use a lot of your reflexes, you actually pause the rep and then you go up. You pause the rep and then you go up. So for example, a floor press is a great example. Instead of a bench press where you're bouncing off your chest, a floor press is where you go down and then your elbows touch the floor and you have to exert force from a dead stop. These are some of the ways in which you can add that hybrid element to your training. Next, focus on joints, ligaments, and tendons, especially the hip flexors, rotator cuffs, and the tibialis. In commercial, conventional gym bro mentality, what we think about are just the muscles. We don't think about like between the bicep and the shoulder, the delts. We have the rotator cuffs that allow for all of the shoulder mobility that we have. We think about the calf muscles and the quads, but we don't think about our knee joint stability. We think about all of those, but we don't think about the importance of the hip flexors. But if you're someone that's engaged in sports for a long time or martial arts for a long time, you'll realize that a lot of the strength actually comes from these tendons and the ability of hip flexors and the rotator cuffs to really just stretch, engage, and generate power from there. Of course, you need muscle, but muscle's almost like just the brute amount of force, and the mobility that the tendons, ligaments, and joints can generate is what gives that force direction, what gives that force coordination. You should train your hip flexors, your rotator cuffs with some exercises like ATG split squats, external shoulder rotations, the Y face pull, and you should train your tibialis with tibialis raises. These slightly weird exercises that train ankle mobility, knee stability, hip flexors, rotator cuffs. Like, you will not see people do this that much in your local gym, but this is how you train like an athlete. Next, today was my gym day and I decided not to go. Today I was just aware of the fact that for the past 6 weeks, I've been going non-stop, jiu-jitsu gym, loving it, but that the fatigue is building up and I'm feeling some pain in my joints from overuse. So before the burnout comes, before an injury comes, have that smartness to be like, you know what? I've kind of come to that point where injury is around the corner, burnout is around the corner, mental and physical fatigue is building up. Let me take a preemptive rest day. Nothing's gonna go to shit. I'm not gonna gain belly fat suddenly. I'm not gonna lose all my muscle. I'm not gonna lose to everyone who's already building muscle in the gym. Chill out. Okay, and this is one of the best ways to become a hybrid athlete, is to become hyper aware of your own fatigue levels, and without using this as an excuse to skimp out on sessions, you actually take preemptive measures to rest so you never get burnt out. And this is what's going to allow you to actually become a hybrid athlete, someone who has time, energy, and not only that, someone who enjoys doing more than just the gym. Hope this video helped you. See you in the next one.